You probably already crossed his name off the list. A guy who's barely played since he got here, spent more time in the medical tent than on the field, and most people thought his days in Baltimore were numbered. But something changed, and it happened fast. David Ojabo showed up to training camp with a totally different vibe. Strong, focused, explosive. And in just 2 practices, he shook things up, giving rookie right tackle Roger Rosengarten a tough time, breaking up passes, and catching eyes all around the locker room. But that's not even the full story. What's really behind this sudden burst is what's got everyone talking, and it could be the start of a surprising turnaround. Ojabo rolled into camp as one of the leading candidates to get cut. 3 years after being a second-round pick, with just 7 games under his belt, injuries stacking up, and almost no production. The outlook wasn't looking great. But in those first 2 practices, Ojabo sent a clear message. He's not going quietly. According to Jeff Zrebiec from The Athletic, the linebacker stood out early on, going head-to-head with Rosengarten and disrupting passing plays with aggression. The Ojabo showing up on the field looks nothing like the hesitant player we've seen the past few years. The key? He's finally healthy. For the first time since joining the league, Ojabo is getting consistent reps. No physical limitations, more strength, more explosiveness, and maybe most importantly, a sense of urgency. He knows what's at stake. There's zero margin for error now. Either he steps up now, or it's tough to see another shot in Baltimore. The time he lost in those first 2 years left a hole hard to fill, but the grind to catch up has started, down to the smallest details in practice, where he's proving he still has plenty left in the tank. The coaching staff can feel the difference too. The tone around him has shifted. It's no longer about potential. It's about consistency. Talent has never been the question with Ojabo. Availability has. If he keeps his body right, stays aggressive mentally, and keeps making an impact like he has so far, this battle for a roster spot is about to get a whole lot more interesting than anyone expected. But the recent past still hangs over him. And if there's one thing that won't go away, it's the injury history that keeps everyone wary. No matter how encouraging camp looks, no one inside the building forgets what came before. Ojabo just hasn't been able to stay on the field since he arrived. First, a torn Achilles his pro day, an injury that dropped him down the draft board and kept him sidelined nearly all rookie year. Then, just as 2023 looked like a turning point, a partially torn ACL wiped out the season again. 7 games in 2 years. That's a tough pill to swallow. And with that kind of injury volume, confidence and rhythm go right out the window. That weighs heavily in the coaching staff's evaluation. This is a team that can't afford to waste snaps or roster spots on physical uncertainties. Ojabo's durability has become the biggest question mark. Sure, his production when on the field matters, but his medical history is the real red flag. The staff wants to believe he's turned the corner, that he's stronger, better prepared. But they also know it needs to last longer than just a good week of camp. That's the real challenge. Training hard for a few days is just step one. Ojabo has to prove he can handle the full grind, from camp to preseason, and most importantly, the heavy rotation in the regular season. No single good play wipes away 2 years of inconsistency. His comeback depends on both his body and his consistency, and the pressure for that has already begun, especially now, because the competition isn't just alive. It's grown. Ojabo's situation would already be tough on its own. But the Ravens' edge rusher room got a serious upgrade in 2025. The arrival of rookie Mike Green, a second-round pick, changes the landscape. Green just dominated at Marshall with 17 sacks, leading all college football. This guy isn't just a future project. He's ready to fight for snaps day one. And that ups the pressure on everyone else in that room. And that's not all. The roster still has solid vet Kyle Van Noy, plus Odafe, who remains a key part of rotation. Tavius Robinson is progressing and carving out a role, and rookie Adisa Isaac came in with a massive physical ceiling. So what Ojabo had back in 2022, a clear path to be the future starter, has now become a battle fought inch by inch. In a group like this, there's zero room for error. Ravens won't keep 7 edge rushers. If you don't perform, you're out. And even though Ojabo's talent is still recognized, he's surrounded by guys who are healthy, available, and hungry. That changes the kind of pressure he's under. Now, it's not just about proving he deserves a spot. It's about beating out younger, healthier players with fewer question marks. And that's exactly why the timing of his camp surge couldn't be more critical.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
This training camp isn't just a chance to silence critics. It's literally Ojabo's last shot in Baltimore. He's entering the fourth and final year of his rookie contract. Either he proves he can contribute now, or the Ravens-Ojabo experiment ends here. There's no next offseason. No more room to gamble on potential. Everything he builds in these next months could be the difference between a contract extension or becoming another veteran without a home. That's not just pressure, it's motivation. Some players buckle under that weight. Others thrive, and so far, from what we've seen at camp, Ojabo looks like the latter. He's playing like he fully understands what's on the line. And with his body finally in shape, this might be the first time he enters a season with rhythm, continuity, and mental clarity. The roster context only adds urgency. Baltimore has key defensive decisions to make and won't waste time or money on players who aren't indispensable. Ojabo has the name, the pedigree, and flashes of brilliance. But he needs production, consistency, to be on the field in September and still standing strong in December. And he knows it. But for all that to come together, there's one more thing still hanging over him. Talent was never the question. Since the 2022 draft, nobody has doubted Ojabo's ceiling. He was a top 15 talent before the pro day injury. Explosive, technical, with rare bend. Exactly the kind of edge rusher that fits the Ravens scheme. But talent alone never guarantees anything in the NFL, especially when you can't stay on the field. What separates prospects from true starters is the ability to produce consistently year after year. And that's exactly where Ojabo still needs to prove himself. What makes this offseason so critical is that, for the first time, he finally has the ideal conditions to do it. Healthy body, no limits on preparation, full routine, and at the same time, the weight of responsibility. Baltimore built an edge rush unit strong enough to survive without him. If Ojabo wants a fixed role in that rotation, he's going to have to earn and sustain it every snap with full effort. No more special treatment. No more benefit of the doubt. What happens from here depends solely on what he delivers on the field. And if he keeps playing with the intensity and aggression he's shown early in camp, there's still time to write a new chapter in his career. David Ojabo steps into 2025 carrying the weight of years marked by injuries and limited chances. But what he's shown in training camp makes one thing clear. He's not messing around. The blend of health, strength, and a near-desperate drive to stick with the team creates a real sense that he can flip the script. In a roster where competition is fierce and the margin for error razor thin, this fast start could be the difference maker for both his future and the defense's success. That said, nothing's guaranteed. Ojabo's recent past still shadows his career, and only consistent performance throughout the season can erase those doubts. If he keeps up what he's shown so far, Baltimore add a valuable piece to their edge rush rotation. If not, the team has strong options ready to fill the spot. That tension, that push and pull, is part of what makes top-level football so compelling. So, Ravens fans, what do you think? Does Ojabo have what it takes to overcome the hurdles and become a key piece in this defense? Or is this another story of wasted talent? The answers will come on the field, but the anticipation is already building, and it could be one of the biggest storylines of the season.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself. See you there, and until the next video, go Flock.